What if I told you that the reason your energy crashes every afternoon, your blood sugar spikes after meals that used to be fine, and you wake up exhausted no matter how long you sleep, has nothing to do with your diet or your willpower? The real culprit is invisible. It's your circadian rhythm, your body's internal 24-hour clock, and when it's out of sync, everything falls apart. Your metabolism, your sleep, your hormones, all of it. But here's the thing most people don't know. You can reset it in 7 days. Not months. Not years. 7 days. And when you do, your glucose stabilizes, your energy returns, and your sleep actually feels restorative again. I'm going to show you exactly how, using a simple 3-part protocol that's backed by research and real data. Continuous glucose monitor readings, heart rate variability scores, before and after. This isn't theory. It's a roadmap. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do starting tomorrow morning. Let's dive in. Before I walk you through the protocol, we need to talk about something that might surprise you. You don't just have one clock in your body. You have dozens. There's a master clock in your brain, tucked into a tiny region called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and then there are peripheral clocks in nearly every organ. Your liver has one. Your pancreas has one. Your muscles, your gut, even your fat cells. They all keep time. And when they're synchronized, magic happens. Your insulin sensitivity peaks in the morning when you need it most. Your body knows exactly when to burn fat and when to repair tissue. Your sleep cycles are deep and restorative. But when those clocks drift out of sync, and trust me, modern life is designed to pull them apart, everything starts to misfire. Your pancreas releases insulin at the wrong times. Your liver dumps glucose when it shouldn't. Your sleep becomes fragmented, and you feel off in a way you can't quite explain. Here's a stat that stopped me in my tracks when I first read it. Researchers found that just 5 days of circadian misalignment, think eating late at night, irregular sleep, bright screens before bed, reduced insulin sensitivity by over 20%. That's the difference between stable blood sugar and pre-diabetic glucose swings. In less than a week. Now imagine what months or years of this does to your body. But here's the good news, and this is where it gets interesting. Realignment works just as fast. When you give your body the right signals at the right times, it responds almost immediately. That's what this 7-day challenge is built on. 3 simple inputs that reset your master clock and pull all those peripheral clocks back into harmony. And I'm going to show you exactly what those inputs are. But first, let me tell you about someone who did this and what happened to his numbers. Mark is 42. He works a desk job, has 2 kids, and for the past few years, his sleep has been a disaster. He wakes up tired, crashes hard around 3 p.m., and his last checkup showed his fasting glucose creeping into pre-diabetic range. His doctor told him to watch it. That got his attention. So he committed to this 7-day protocol. On day 1, his average glucose was 110 milligrams per deciliter, spiking to 160 after meals. His heart rate variability, which measures how well your nervous system recovers, was sitting at 35 milliseconds. Not terrible, but not great. By day 3, he noticed he was falling asleep faster. The afternoon crash was less brutal. By day 7, his average glucose had dropped to 95, with post-meal peaks around 125. His HRV jumped to 52. That's a 48% improvement in recovery capacity. In 1 week. He told me he felt like a different person. More energy, clearer thinking, and for the first time in years, he was waking up before his alarm. So what did he do? Let me break it down. The protocol has 3 pillars: light exposure, screen curfew, and feeding window. Each one is simple on its own, but together, they create a synchronization effect that's honestly kind of remarkable. Let's start with light, because this is the most powerful lever you have. Your master clock is set primarily by light. Specifically, the wavelength and intensity of light hitting your eyes. Bright blue-rich light in the morning tells your brain it's daytime. Wake up. Start the metabolic engines. Dim, warm light in the evening says wind down, prepare for rest and repair. The problem is, most of us get this completely backwards. We wake up in dim indoor light, maybe glance at our phone, then spend the evening under bright overhead LEDs and blue-lit screens. Your brain has no idea when day is. So here's what you do, and this is non-negotiable. Within 30 minutes of waking, get outside. No sunglasses. Just 10 to 15 minutes of natural daylight. Cloudy day? Stay a bit longer. Can't get outside? Use a 10,000 lux light therapy box. This morning, light pulse anchors your entire circadian rhythm. It sets your cortisol and melatonin rhythms for the day. Miss this and everything downstream gets harder. Then, as the sun sets, you shift gears. Dim your indoor lights. Use warm bulbs around 2700 Kelvin or lower. If you've got smart bulbs, this is the time to use them. The goal is to create a gradual transition from day to night, the way our ancestors experienced it for millennia. No harsh overhead lights. No bright white LEDs. Just soft, warm light that signals to your brain that it's time to wind down. This alone can make a massive difference in how quickly you fall asleep. Now, let's talk about the screen curfew. And I know this is where some of you are going to push back. But stick with me, because this is where you'll see some of the biggest gains. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, the hormone that signals sleep. Even a little bit of exposure in the evening can delay your circadian phase by an hour or more. So here's the rule. 2 hours before bed, screens go off. All of them. Phone, laptop, TV. I know that sounds extreme. But this is a 7-day experiment. You can do anything for 7 days. If 2 hours feels impossible, start with 1 and work your way up. Use that time to read a physical book, journal, stretch, have a conversation, prep for the next day. Anything that doesn't involve a glowing rectangle. If you absolutely must use a screen, wear blue light blocking glasses, the kind with orange or red lenses, and keep brightness at the lowest setting. But honestly, the full curfew is where the magic happens. People who do this report falling asleep faster, staying asleep longer, and waking up more refreshed than they have in years. And here's something interesting. When you remove screens from your evening, you also remove the mental stimulation that keeps your brain wired. You're not scrolling through news or social media or emails. You're giving your mind permission to settle. That's just as important as the light exposure piece. The third pillar is your feeding window, and this one ties directly into longevity. Longevity. When you eat matters just as much as what you eat. Your body's ability to process glucose is highest in the morning and declines as the day goes on. Eating late at night, especially carbs, leads to higher glucose spikes and poorer insulin response. So for this challenge, you're going to compress your eating into a consistent 10 to 12 hour window, starting within an hour of waking. For most people, that's something like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The exact times matter less than the consistency. Your body loves predictability. When you eat at the same times every day, your metabolic hormones start to anticipate meals. Insulin sensitivity improves. Glucose stays more stable. And you stop getting those random energy crashes. Outside your eating window, stick to water, black coffee, or plain tea. No snacks, no cream, no sweeteners. Let your body fully rest and repair. This isn't about restriction. It's about rhythm. And when your body has a rhythm, it functions better. Period. Now, let me be real with you. This isn't always easy, especially in the first few days. Your body is used to its current rhythm, even if that rhythm is dysfunctional. So when you suddenly start giving it different signals, there's an adjustment period. You might feel a little groggy in the morning even after getting outside. You might get hungry outside your eating window. You might feel restless during your screen curfew. That's normal. It's your body recalibrating. Push through. By day 4 or 5, those symptoms usually fade, and that's when you start feeling the benefits. Better sleep, stable energy, clearer head, And if you're tracking glucose or HRV, you'll see the numbers shift too. Here's something else worth mentioning, and this is where the longevity piece really comes in. This protocol doesn't just improve glucose and sleep. It has downstream effects on almost everything. Your mood stabilizes because your cortisol rhythm normalizes. Your digestion improves because your gut has a predictable schedule. Your workouts feel better because your body knows when to expect physical stress. Even your skin can look better because your repair hormones are firing at the right times. It's all connected. That's the beauty of working with your circadian rhythm instead of against it. You're not just fixing one thing. You're realigning the entire system. And when the system is aligned, aging slows down. Cellular repair improves. Inflammation drops. You're not just feeling better. You're actually extending your health span. So what happens after the 7 days? Because this isn't just a one-week experiment. It's a foundation. Once you've reset your rhythm, the goal is to maintain it. And the good news is, it gets easier. Your body starts to crave the routine. You'll naturally feel tired at the right time. You'll wake up more easily. Your hunger will align with your eating window. But life happens. You'll have late nights, travel, social events. That's fine. The key is to get back on track as quickly as possible. 1 or 2 off days won't undo everything, but a week of chaos will start to pull you out of sync again. So think of this protocol as your reset button. Whenever you feel yourself drifting, come back to these 3 pillars. Morning light, screen curfew, feeding window. They're simple, they're free, and they work. Let me give you 3 practical action steps you can start tomorrow. First, set an alarm for 30 minutes after you wake up. That's your light exposure deadline. Get outside, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Make it non-negotiable. Second, calculate your screen curfew time. If you want to be asleep by 11 p.m., screens go off at 9 p.m. Set a phone alarm if you need to. Third, decide on your eating window and write it down. Consistency is everything. If you start eating at 7 a.m., your last bite should be by 7 p.m. Track it for 7 days and see how you feel. Before we wrap up, let me address a few common questions. What if you work night shifts? Circadian alignment is harder but not impossible. The principles still apply. You just flip them. Bright light during your wake period, darkness during your sleep period, and a consistent eating window aligned with your schedule. What about caffeine? It's fine, as long as you stop at least 8 hours before bed. Caffeine has a half-life of about 5 hours, so that afternoon coffee can still be affecting you at midnight. Do you need a CGM or HRV tracker to do this? No. They're helpful for seeing the data, but you'll feel the changes even without them. Better sleep, more energy, stable mood. Those are the real markers. All right, let's bring this home. Your circadian rhythm is the conductor of your metabolic orchestra. When it's in sync, everything plays beautifully. When it's off, the whole performance suffers. The 7-day Circadian Reset Challenge gives you a clear, actionable way to get back in tune. Morning light to set your clock. Screen curfew to protect your melatonin. Feeding window to optimize your metabolism. 3 pillars. 7 days. Real results. You don't need expensive supplements or complicated protocols. You just need to work with your biology instead of against it. And the payoff is huge. Better glucose control, more energy, deeper sleep, and a body that actually feels like it's on your side. So here's my challenge to you. Try it. Commit to 7 days. Track how you feel. If you've got a CGM or HRV monitor, track the numbers too. And then come back and let me know what changed. I'm willing to bet you'll be surprised at how much better you feel. Because when you fix your clock, you really do fix your metabolism. Thank you for spending your time here. I'm grateful you're on this journey with me. Wishing you practical progress and good health. If you found this helpful, I've got more eye-opening research on longevity compounds that most people have never heard of. Click the video that just appeared on your screen to discover the next piece of the healthy aging puzzle.